Okay, so last time we made this awesome system for placing blocks, which works great for what I've done. The problem is now it's not very like specific, I guess. So the block placing mechanics aren't particularly great. So it always places the same block, and there's no count for how many blocks you can place, and all that stuff. So I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to improve the block placement mechanics so you can only place the right kinds of blocks, and also you can pick up blocks that you've already broken. So those are some of my goals. I don't know what will get done, but we'll see what I get. Let's get into it. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is for each of these blocks, I'm also going to give it an integer for its block type. So these or let's call it type. So this is going to, so we're going to say like, say 0 is a good block. 1 is a, 1 might be a stone block, stuff like that. So yeah, so this is going to be the type of block you get. So I think for what I'm going to do now is instead of making it so like how in the actual game it just like pops out a tiny block and if you touch it you get it. I think I'm just going to make it you get that block automatically to place. So this type is going to it's going to be read by the player, and the player is going to have a list. Oh, closed it. Stop it. Well, the player is then, I should organize this quick. Give me just a second. Yeah, so just reorder these to make them a little easier to read. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to make a list, I think, for the first time. So this is going to be make a private list. It's going to be a list of integers, so a list of type int, and be called block list. What is this? Is it an namespace here? Using system. I'm not using system. Okay. Not collections. Not generic. Okay. So what the error was is that it just didn't. These are libraries of code words, so I wasn't using the library of code words with lint. So now I'm using that. Great. So now I can make a list. So it's a private list of type blocks. Actually, I might have to make it public. Yeah. And it's gotta actually be at the end, just because actually put it at the end just because it'll be really weird to. And what if I hit the serialized field? Serialized field private list of type. No, okay, what am I doing? It's So I need a list of blocks and a list of how many of each type of block I have. List of block types. Now it doesn't need to be a dictionary. It might need to be. I'm gonna quick look up how dictionaries work because these it's like a list, but I can have 2 entries instead of 3. So you know what? For now, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, we're gonna just use 2 lists. So just gonna make them private for now. Private list of type game object blocks, and then private list private. It's not a list, except it's not targets. We're gonna call it block counts because that's so it's a list of blocks, and this is a list of how many of each type of block we have. It's going to be integers. So then when you so when you break the block, get hit strength. Then it destroys the game object. And it doesn't need to reference back to the player. It might need to. So we'll need to get a buffer. That will be hard. You know what, actually? We could just use. It might actually be easier to like use a use a little item thing so that it Okay, we're gonna try this. Gonna go put this good cube back in there. Like -90, 2, 1, and 2. Okay. Now we're gonna instead make it 25 size cube. Does that look small enough? I think that's only half size. Kind of right through it actually. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, that's way. Oh, that's way too big. We're gonna make it like half that size. We're gonna make it like 10. See what that looks like. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So when you hit this, it's gonna be. We're gonna make it look like the same. So we're gonna instantiate this thing, and it's gonna have the it's gonna call a block item. So why did I do that? Okay. So this we're gonna prefab unpack completely. Call it a block item. So in the item, I guess item form, I think is what it's called. But the thing you can pick up. So then we're going to make another script for this one, and literally all the script is going to do is just going to control an integer. So create a. This is going to be the simplest script in the game. Would you call it block item or just item? So you pick it up. I'll call it item for now. And then yeah, I can change that later if I need. This is going to do almost nothing. So literally all it's going to do is just going to have public int type. And actually it's even going to be private. No, it does have to be public actually. So you can access from the other script. But that's basically the entire script. So basically what it's going to do is when the player controller detects a collision with the thing, with the item, it's just going to read its type and add one to that, to whatever, to get one of that. It's going to increase its, yeah, essentially. It should make sense in a second. So this block item, I call it item, item, type 0. Nice, so that's going to be a dirt block. We're going to give this a rigid body, and we're going to freeze its rotation on X and Z axes. Yeah. Okay, so then I think we can make this prefab now. Actually, we're just going to test it. Click on trigger enter. Actually, we need also give it a box collider, which it does not have. So box collider, and this is going to be trigger though. And then we're also going to give it a tag, item tag. Item. Call it an item. And this, chuck it in prefabs. Great. The next thing we'll add from the player controller script, physics for fit, or physics, I guess. We put it here on trigger enter. So this is very specific. On trigger enter. So collider other, and then this is just for whenever for entering a. This is just this stuff is called whenever you enter a box collider or any kind of collider that's marked trigger. So it's just used for detecting collisions, which I will be using. So then if other dot compare tag item, then other dot. Okay. Then we're gonna have block counts on other dot get component of type item dot type don't know if that works, but it looks like it does. So essentially what it's going to do is if it's called an item, then it's going to find on the block counts list. It's just because this is going to have a list of the numbers of each types of blocks you have in your inventory. And it's going to add one to whatever the type is. So this type is 0. It'll add 1 to 0. Yeah. So I'm going to just go to the player and player controller. Well, it's private, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna just make it public for now, just so I can observe it. And then save. Now we're just gonna test this to see if you can get so oh wait, never mind. I forgot one important thing. It should do that, but also it should destroy other, not get component, game object. Okay, so it'll just destroy it. And this is just a little block. It's going to make it look like the other one, but gonna see what happens. Oh, does it fall through? It might fall through the ground, actually. It did. Let me just check that quick with this to make sure. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. We're just going to add another box collider. This one's not going to be trigger. So then it's going to stay, yeah, not falling to the ground. Where is it? It's not anywhere. Oh, I just added another box collider to the player, didn't I? Yeah, I can remove this component. I don't know why. Wrong thing. This needs a box collider. One of them is trigger, so it can detect the collisions. The other one is just for actual collision. There we go. Now, come on. Oh, no. It's doing physics well. It's just not detecting collisions. Is that because it's not tagged item? It is. Oh. Index out of range exception. Okay. So current block 0. I make it 1. It's going to be 1 block. There we go. Okay. That should not give us the throw. So it threw us. Yeah. I can explain that later. But if this works, then that would be the issue. Please just try it. Yeah, okay. So there we go. The issue, right now, we can check. It is 1, so we did get 1. Nice. So yeah, the issue there was that it couldn't, there weren't any items in the block counts list, so it couldn't get past this line to destroy it and add 1. So I just had to add an item, add one thing to the list of block counts, and that worked. So I'm gonna, yeah. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is make, instead of just 1 block that you can get, I will make the when you break a block, it needs to drop another block. So destroy game object. We're just going to I'm gonna make a public float, not a float, it's going to be game object item version, which is going to be instantiate. So that's going to be the little block. Instantiate item version, and then transform dot position. This is only going to be called once ever. So, oh no, actually, we got to do it a little differently. So we're going to say game object. We're going to call the drop equals instantiate. So this is instantiate item version transform dot position and rotate it 90 degrees. So it'll be quaternion dot Euler 90 0 0. Okay, and then we're going to say drop dot get component of type so we're getting its what are we getting? We are getting its I don't remember. Oh, it's item component, item. There we go. Dot type equals type. So you're setting that. So it's the same thing, and then drop dot get component of type mesh renderer dot material equals get component. Okay, that might work. I don't know if it will. We're going to say just get component of type mesh render dot material. That seems like it'll be a little better. Mesh render dot material. Okay, so this is going to do. So it's going to set the type of the object of the little Cupid drops to the same type as the blocks. This is the block that's doing this, and then it's going to set its material to the same material as it has. So it's going to look the same, just a small version. And then I think one last thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. What am I gotta think as well. Oh, yeah, so you can only then instantiate, or you can only place a block if you have more than if compare tag block. Okay, so current block. Oh, so then we gotta set the type of block. Current block. We're gonna make it a list of type game objects actually. Current block. Make a list of game objects, not blocks. We're also going to instantiate blocks on. Do we have a variable for? Oh, we don't. This is going to be actually very important. And private for now. Private int index. This is just going to be. So it's blocks on index. Nice. And then I think one other thing I'm going to do just before anything else, just for safety, I'm going to just create a text document, which um, I'm going to which I'm just going to just contain all the one is dirt block and two is going to be rock. Two is rock block. There we go. So that's saved. Not that. So yeah, now we can just test to see if that works. No. Scripts block. This should be always item version. It's always going to be block item. Okay. Then I think I can delete this. Now, ideally, what would happen is it just were player current. Do we have a list of blocks? Is that private or public? The list, it's private. I don't know why it's private. Make it public. You kind of need maybe make it private later, but two types. So one is a dirt block. One is a not grass block. It's a rock block. And then also adjust these durability item for go. Come on. Are you kidding me? With this, add another block script. Okay, there we go. It does work. So I think there's nothing else I can really think that I would need to do. So I'm just gonna try breaking some blocks and see what we get. Dude, look at that. It actually dropped something. Doesn't work particularly well, but they do drop little versions. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So the block item does have a rigid body. And as the trigger collider, it needs a not trigger collider. So just a box collider. I think I already did that, but whatever. Okay, and look at that. Just like that is sick. That is so cool. So you can like mine those and mine that. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, now what happens if you dig down? Oh, you can't. Interesting. So there's no way of actually grabbing those. So to test, just for testing purposes, so it only ever spits out. You can, oh, actually, first next action, we're gonna put another rock block. Okay, we're gonna make it 5, 4, 1. And we have a rock block like that. And then we're going to test to see if that works. Don't think it will, actually. We have a rock right there. We can break a block. Can we place a block? We can. Okay, that's... Oh, so we didn't actually make the test for it to see if that works. Go in the hole. There we go. Okay, and then okay, so this is not, there's some adjustments I need to make first. So first of all, what I need to do is make it so that you cannot, if you have, so, and block counts on blocks, no, never mind. So block counts on index is greater than 0. There we go. So now you won't be able to do that. And then you could also this movement, I'm also going to make reset mouse position. I'm going to get rid of that. It's not used. Like breaking placing stuff. And I'm going to make another one for switching out what kind of block you're using. Okay, we're going to have to do this differently. But it shouldn't be too hard. It'll just take a while. So I'm going to do void switch item. And what it's going to do is it's going to just look through each. So if input dot get key down key code dot alpha 1, then x equals 1. And we're just going to do this for all 9 keys. So this should switch it, and we're just going to put this in update. Switch item. Now, you should only be able to place as many blocks as you have, and you should be able to switch to other kinds of blocks. So you just place a block. No, you can't. You can mine a block. And go grab the block. If I can get in the hole. Go in the hole. And then there you go. You cannot place. Oh, you can. Interesting. All right, what? Never mind. One more important thing I need to do. I think I forgot. Is that when you're breaking a block, and if it's greater than 0 blocks. Okay. I'm just gonna say block counts index not equals 0, but minus. That way you can only place as many as you have. It's a very important thing I forgot. So you can only place 1 now. And so what happened last time is I grabbed a block, it added 1 to it, but then it didn't keep subtracting every time I placed 1. So this can't place. Grab block, grab 1, place. Cannot place anymore. That's wonderful. Okay. Now we're gonna try Look at that. Ourselves a little dirt block. Can't place it. Oh man. 2. Okay, so that's wrong type. Did I? Why is type not public? Is type private? Oh, it needs to be public. There we go. Okay, so the other two are 0, and this one should be 1, so that's why. That one's 1. And then I'm also going to change that in my text document to make sure 0. That one is 1. Leave that open actually, because why not? So this hopefully should work. Okay. Alright. So you can't place blocks. Clicking. Mind this one, and you grab it. It didn't get grabbed. No. It just fell. What the heck? Why the heck did that not work? We're getting an error. It's the size of the collection. Okay. Argument out of range exception. Where are we getting these errors from? So it's at on trigger enter. It's in the player controller. So it's actually in here. So blocks dot type. So that's why, because this block constants to be too large as well. So many things. Actually, I'm gonna rename this to Overworld because that's just want to rename. Is there any way of renaming it? Guess not. And actually, I know there is, but we'll fix that. Okay, tried 3 times. Now this should work ideally. Got ourselves a block. Now we can't place it, but we click on 2, and then we still can't place it. No, what is it? Ah, what? It's not supposed to happen. I know why. It did it again. Okay. So on these are 2, so that 1 should give you 0. Because of course, that makes sense, right? Right. Now will this work? Okay. That also is a rock block. Pick it up. Cannot place it, but then you click 2 and then you can place it. Wonderful. After another session of work, we have it so that you cannot just place infinity blocks. You can only, when you mine a block, it spits out its little mini block thing, and then you can grab them, and then you can place blocks that you've mined. You cannot place more blocks than that. You can break these. Same with this block. I just put that there for testing. But you can grab that, and then once you click the 2 button to switch over to those, then you can place that. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Next time, I'll figure out something else to do. See ya.